Oh, hey, what's up? How's the audio? I'm using the mic. It's a little windy out here. Can you guys hear me? What's up, Ruben? One man in his detector. Natalie, what's up? All right, nice. What's up, Tony? So yeah, I decided to come to USC today on a Saturday. I figured if I come to like the little shopping area, which is called USC Village, I'll give like a little scope right now of where I'm at. Once more people join, if more people join. And yeah, it looks like there's a lot of traffic here, so we'll see. We should get some conversations today, that's for sure. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, Ruben. Yeah, I was watching Dell on my way here. Is he still alive or? Well, listening to Dell while I was driving here. Let me check. Oh, okay, he went off already. Cool, what's up, BG? Old School Steve. What's up? Thanks for joining. Oh, it's a little windy out here. It's good though, because it balances out the slight heat from the sun. It's not even hot, it's just a little warm. So with this cool breeze, is a pretty good combination. So can't complain. Let me see how many flyers I have. Okay, I got around 10. Should be good enough. Yeah, I'm gonna need to fold some more flyers soon. Oh, what's up, MCS? From Bahrain. I'm horrible with pronunciation, so if I mispronounce something, my bad. Yeah, you would think a university is a place where students, would want to get their want to have their common sense challenged. So, I mean, usually when I go to the other university in Riverside, I usually get a lot of conversations. So, we'll see. Maybe it's a Saturday, and maybe their brains are turned off on the weekend, right? More than they already are on the weekdays. But who knows? We'll see. Yeah, hopefully the phone doesn't flip over. Yeah, so I was gonna post up either between here or across the street, but I figured since the signs are right here, this would be a good spot to break the ice. But maybe in the future I'll post up over there. There's also, if I keep going down this block, right now I'm on the corner of Hoover and Jefferson, outside of USC, which is south of LA, not too far from downtown. But yeah, just a block down that way on Jefferson. I don't know the other street's name, McKinley, I think. There's another cross street, because right here is a cross street, where there's 4 intersections, but you can cross diagonally as well. Usually that they do that because these sidewalks get congested, or the crosswalks get congested. So that's when they usually add the cross, to cross in a cross as well, as in an X. So this block has that, and the block down the street also has that. That tells you that there's a lot of foot traffic there. So for sure, this block Jefferson is gonna be a really good spot to catch students, walking, in and out of the campus, So, I mean, I do plan in the future to go inside as well. Maybe check it out inside. Obviously, somewhere off. I'm not blocking anyone, but some walkways in the campus. But that's more in the future. Yeah, students are reading it. So far, nobody's curious enough to come up to the table yet. So, what's up, Base Truther? What's up, Renewed Awareness? Yeah, the weather right now is perfect, man. If it can only be like this all year round, perfect. Only in an ideal world, right? I know, I hope I get a science teacher too, right? I need to start asking the students, what they're studying. Just, maybe it relates to the subject, right? That way, it could be a little bit more interesting. They might have something more to defend at that point, since, they say they're in engineering, for example, and then they have a conversation with me. They're going to have to deny the practical applications that they're taught, so that they're able to engage with me, especially if they're trying to defend their belief, They're going to have to disregard all the practical, all the practicality that comes in engineering, and just go based on belief, But yeah, I mean, that's another thing about, not only religions, but cults. Cults usually are lied to about everything. They're lied to about their whole existence. Literally, they're lied to about what this place is, what they're supposed to do here. I don't even know if religions, I mean, you could say religions are cults, you could just, cult is just like a more of an aggressive word for it, but religions are cults because, again, they're just based on faith-based ideas about what this place is and what we should be doing here and what our place is here, So, the fact is, nobody actually knows. Yeah, a lot of students are reading, so we'll see. Hey, what's up? So I want to see if people, students specific, trust their common sense. Will you say you trust your common sense?
I guess.
Right? Okay, so we're going to test that. So I have 3 very easy elementary level, multiple choice. Multiple choice, all right? So they're very easy. The first one's the hardest, but then they get easier. And we'll see if you trust your common sense. So this first one, I have 2 images here. And the reason I call them images is because one of them is a photograph and one of them is a painting. So I want to see if people can tell the difference between a photograph and a painting.
I see no difference.
You see no difference? So if you had to pick out the photograph, which one would you say is a photograph? Or you would just guess, right? Would that be an honest answer?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I'll guess this one.
You'll guess this one? Okay, fair enough. It was actually a trick question. They're both paintings. No, but it was pretty honest of you to say that you didn't know, because there is 2 reasons why I asked this question that have to do with common sense. The first reason is just believing someone opens the door to being deceived, right? Because if you believe me that one's a photograph, that can influence your choice, right? The second reason is if you want to determine something is real, an image is not good enough, right? Because, obviously the image just fooled you because you thought they were identical, right? Like they were both. So, for example, if I showed you an image of me flying or me walking on water, would you believe I could fly,
I mean, it's not possible.
Yeah, exactly. If an image defies physics, we should throw the image away, right? Especially. So the next 2 have to do with elementary physics. Very easy. So it has to do with water. Could we agree once water is contained like in this bottle, it always seeks the lowest point, right? It always goes to the bottom. Would you agree, right? Because I could turn the bottle upside down, but water always seeks the lowest point. It always goes to the bottom. That's why we have waterfalls always goes down. You'll never see a waterfall upside down. You know what I'm saying? So because water always seeks the lowest point. So since we understand. Yeah, so since we understand that fact about water, right, it always goes to the bottom. So I took 2 images, one like this and one upside down of the bottle. So since we understand, I painted the water blue with food coloring just to make it easy. Since we understand that water always seeks the lowest point, it always goes down, how I'm showing you these, which one is upside down? Which one is the one that I took upside down? Exactly, you got it. Yeah, because obviously the water can't stick to the top, right? So yeah, you trust your common sense, right? So this last one's even easier. So have you ever heard of water always finds its level?
I believe so.
Right, because when you have like a cup of water or like surface of a pool, it always what this is, right?
It's to balance things out.
Exactly, right. So if water always finds its level, what could be another word for level? I mean, balance was a good one. Could we agree horizontal? That's a proper definition for level. Because that's what water always does. That's why they use these in construction. So since we understand that water always finds its level as well. This one's the easiest, by the way. Which one of these 2 represents level as we know it when it comes to the water? A or B?
Maybe A.
Hey, that's the obvious one, obviously, because that's the one that's level. So the real reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe you, have been tricked to believing this is what level means, even though we know it's this. You want to know how we were tricked? Do you believe the Earth is a ball? Yeah, that's what we're taught, right? So NASA in specific, they claim to have satellites orbiting the Earth, so they need to know the radius of orbit. So they need to know the radius of the Earth if they're supposedly going around it. So they do tell us the radius of the Earth is 3,159 miles, which means there has to be curvature every mile, and every mile it increases. So the first mile is an 8-inch drop, second mile 32 inches. By the third mile, there should be 6 feet of curvature. So if we actually went out in nature like a giant lake that was miles across to measure for this curvature, we know that water is going to be parallel to any structure that's horizontal above it, right? It's going to be parallel because that's what water does. But they're trying to tell us that water is bending 6 feet in 3 miles and increasing every mile after that. So in 10 miles, it's 66 feet, which is like a 6-story building.
Doesn't seem that.
Exactly. So this will be the #1 experiment, in my opinion, to debunk the globe Earth. Because the globe Earth is a theory, So if I was to ask you, what's the #1 proof or reason that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball?
That the what?
That the Earth is a ball.
Satellites.
Satellite imagery?
And I saw online that there was an experiment that flat earthers did.
Okay.
about
I try to stay away from that word, flat earther, because it's a label that they're using right now to discredit anyone talking about this. But yeah, you were saying that, what's the experiment about?
So like, if it truly was curved, about like certain miles, the light would.
Okay.
The light would.
So you're talking about a laser experiment that they did over a distance, right?
Yeah, I believe it's something like that.
Yeah. So there's actually a documentary on Netflix about they do. I would call it a mockumentary. So they're deliberately pushing laser experiments on the mainstream, and the reason why is because what happens if I shine a laser through water? Will that laser go straight?
I believe so.
You think it will go straight? It will happen. You know what will happen? Refraction will happen. So it's gonna look like it's bending the light, because water. When you shine anything through water, it refracts it. So the air is like moisture. So whenever we shine a laser through the air, there's always going to be refraction. So a laser experiment is always going to be inconclusive. So it's never going to give you a conclusive answer because there's going to be refraction always. So a physical measurement we don't have to worry about refraction. So if water is truly bending every lake on Earth and the oceans, then 8 inches per mile square is the curvature that should be displayed by all the surfaces of the Earth, of the water. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think? You think it's possible that maybe we're lied to, or are you not? Are you pretty set?
There's always gonna be a different opinion.
Right. I would say it's not an opinion. It's more, an understanding of how water behaves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like in this cup, always finds its level. Water always finds its level. So you'll never see an experiment or an observation where the surface of water, especially, when we're talking miles, it's bending. You know what I'm saying? And again, even if it was, we should be able to physically measure that. Like a ruler, and literally with a ruler, literally, you know what I'm saying? We should be able to measure that dip of the Earth if it's truly a sphere, you know what I'm saying? So I do have some information that you can take, because it is being censored. That's one of the main reasons why I'm out here talking to people, because if you go out on your own and try to research this, you're gonna get nothing but just ridicule and just experts supposedly just dismissing it. So here, I'll give you some info you could take, and you can use this to cross-reference. Don't believe anything I'm saying. Understand physics, understand, and just trust your common sense, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You have any questions before you go? Or? No? All right. Okay. Thanks for talking to me, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good one.
What's up, bro?
All right.
You know where's the ATM or where the Trader Joe's is at?
It's gonna be if you're going through here, I think it's somewhere in here. The Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
I seen it over there down this. Actually, if you go down this block, the Trader Joe's is on the left.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see it. All right, no problem. All right. Hey, that one was good. He was like kind of laughing a little bit. I mean, it's natural. It's kind of natural right now because we're in a natural situation. So responses like already kind of mocking it slightly by like laughing at something or slightly smirking. It's kind of like a natural response right now if you believe the Earth is a globe. So I don't even take it personal, because the majority of people that believe that are gonna act like that. So, and I understand that it's just like a triggered response in a way, It's a programmed response to just to ridicule this off the back, and the only thing you could do is just try to explain it as simple as you can. I don't even know how to say that. And hope that they understand it, And I'm glad he took the flyer. Now he gets to go check this out on his own, and yeah. Yeah, I'm make it a habit to bring this out because put it on the table. Oh my God, the table's not even level. There you go. What's up, Martin Haley? Flat Earth Banner. Renewed awareness. I think I said what's up already. What's up to everybody new that's just joining? Ooh, ooh, it's windy. Oh my God. So I had to park like 2 blocks from here because I was gonna park about a block away from here, but it's only 2-hour parking, and then my head is like, damn. Sometimes I get stuck in a conversation when I'm like an hour and a half in. That could go over 30 minutes, and I could get lost, and bam, that could be a ticket right there. So I kept driving, and I found 4-hour parking another block down. So it was kind of a long walk here, but for 4 hours of parking, I don't plan on staying here more than 3, that's for sure. But I accidentally put 4. I was trying to put 3 hours on the meter, but yeah, after like 2.5 hours, I'm gonna call it. God damn, my lips are fucking dry as fuck. I do have a little bit of cotton mouth right now, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my God, this water's so good right now. I'm literally just drinking to moisten my mouth and lips right now. It doesn't help when you're talking a lot too, and you have cotton mouth. Oh dang, that's like a recipe for disaster. You can't gather enough saliva to keep your mouth moist. That's kind of nasty, but it's the reality. Oh my God, I spilled some water here. No way. Dang, that's a lot of students. For sure there's staff walking too, you could tell. They got the little badges. That's how you know you're getting older.
Hello.
Oh, hey, what's up? So, you guys want to give it a shot?
Sure.
So, first question: do you guys trust your common sense?
No.
No, I mean that's
I
what's
mean,
kept
but
you
I
alive.
try it.
No, I mean you should trust your common sense. But yeah, I have 3 very easy multiple choice, and we see if you could get 2 of 3 at least. You know,
Okay.
and we're gonna test your common sense. So, okay, so the first one, I have 2 images, and the reason I call them images is because one of them's a photograph and one of them's a painting. So I want to see if people can tell the difference.
Are you telling the truth? The one on the left.
May or may not be.
Can I flip it over? I think they're both photos.
Okay, that's fair enough.
If I had to guess, I would say this is the painting, but I think they're both.
Okay, that's an honest one. You know.
I would guess this one's the painting.
Okay.
I was thinking that was a painting.
Okay. Okay. You almost got it. It was actually a trick question, but they're both paintings. Oh yeah. So so I don't expect people to get this one. Obviously, it's impossible to tell, you know, because they're so realistic. But there is 2 reasons why I asked this question. They have to do with common sense. So the first reason is if just believing someone opens the door to being deceived, right? Because you believing that one's a photograph, that influenced your choice, right? So it's not good to just believe someone openly, right? So the second reason is if we want to determine something is real, an image is not good enough. Because if I showed you an image of me flying or me walking on water, would you guys believe I could do those things? No, right? It's impossible to fly. Nobody could fly unless you're using some kind of device, you know.
You're basically saying don't trust you.
Don't trust images. That's my point. Don't trust images.
But you said that one was a painting, one wasn't. We weren't supposed to trust you.
Oh yeah, they don't believe anyone either. So yeah, so these next 2 actually have to do with physics. So again, you don't have to believe me because it's physics. Physics is what it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it has to do with water. So could we agree once water's contained like in this bottle, I mean, it always seeks its lowest point. In other words, it always goes down. Because I could turn the bottle upside down, but water always goes down. You know, that's a fact. You know, that's why cups, you know, are real the way they are, you know, with an open top. Because water always goes down. So since we understand that fact about water, it always goes down, right? I painted the water blue with food coloring just to make it easier to see the water. But how I'm showing you these 2 images, since we understand water always goes down, which one is upside down? I took one right side up and one upside down, the bottle. But since we understand water always seeks the lowest point.
I think this one's upside down.
Okay.
Your fingers like it's holding.
Okay, no, you got it though. But yeah, it's because of if you look at the water can't stick to the top. So yeah, this is the one I took like that. So that's the one I took upside down. So you got it. You know, maybe not because of the finger, but you know, the water shows you that because the water can't stick to the top. You know, that's obvious, right? So this last one's even easier. Have you guys ever heard of water always finds its level? You know, obviously when one contained, you know, it always finds its level. What could be another word for level? You know, like one of these, you know, what could be another word? Balance is a good one, right? Horizontal is actually the proper definition for level, you know, if you look it up. So horizontal, because you could have a straight line on a slope, but it's not level if it's on a slope. It has to be a horizontal straight line. That's what level means, you know. So since we understand that water always finds its level as well, which one of these 2 represents level as we know it when we're looking at the water? A or B? Okay, yeah, fair enough, yeah. Would you agree or, yeah, it's obvious, right? So the real reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe you guys, have been tricked to believing that this is what level means, even though we know is this. You guys want to know how we were tricked? Do you guys believe the Earth is a ball?
Yeah.
Right? So NASA in specific, they claim to have satellites orbiting the Earth, right? So they need to know the radius of orbit. So they need to know the radius of the Earth if they're supposedly going around it. So they do tell us the radius of the Earth is 3,959 miles, which gives us a circumference of 24,901. So that means there needs to be curvature every mile. So the first mile, there's an 8-inch drop. Second mile, 32 inches. By the third mile, there should be 6 feet of curvature. And by 10 miles, 66 feet. So every mile just keeps increasing. So if we actually went out in nature, like a giant lake that was miles across to measure for this curvature, we understand that the physics of water, you know, it's going to be parallel to any horizontal structure above it because that's what water does. It always finds its level. But they're trying to tell us that the water is bending 6 feet in 3 miles and increasing more and more. But in my opinion, this will be the #1 experiment to debunk the globe, you know. So if I was to ask you guys, oh, sorry about that. Oh, yes. So if I was to ask you guys, what's the #1 proof or reasons, thank you, that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball? What would be the #1 reason or proof? Images. I'm glad you call them images too. So I'm glad NASA doesn't call them photographs, and for a reason, because they actually Photoshop. So that's why they call them images. And now if you guys,
When you look at the sky,
right.
it looks like a sphere.
Oh, so that actually has to do with perspective. So because I don't know if you've heard of celestial navigation, how they use the stars to navigate and triangulation. Has to do with perspective and how we see objects in the sky. It has nothing to do with curvature of the Earth. It's just how we see everything. We see everything kind of like in pyramid shape.
Charlie's Hawaiian.
Oh, she's Hawaiian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
No,
see.
Navigation by the stars.
Yeah. So I do have some information if you guys want to take to cross-reference because it is being censored. But I mean, if you don't want to take it, I understand. You know.
No, that was awesome.
Okay,
Thank you.
man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the chat. All right. You guys have a good one. Oh, that was a good short one. Yeah, it was just too real. They had to walk away slowly. Yeah, it's cool. I understand. I know how it is. It's not easy. It's not an easy pill to swallow. And this goes with any subject, not just this subject, like flat earth, right? In any subject, if you want to establish some grounds of reasoning or establish the truth or the facts, you have to establish the fundamentals, like the initial premise, of what the claim is. You know what I'm saying? You can't just build theories off of theories. You know what I'm saying? That's when everything starts to fall apart. And that's the thing. If you start asking questions about, okay, where did you get that theory from? If they got it from another theory, and that theory has no backing, practical backing, which I'm pretty sure it doesn't because it's a theory, then building theories upon theories is retarded. I understand there could be scientific theories, like scientific probabilities, you know, like of things that we know. Again, things that we know, that could be a scientific theory, you know, like, oh, I'm applying this much force to this ball and it went this far. So if I double the force, my theory is that it's gonna go twice as far. You get what I'm saying? That could be a scientific theory, you know, when you're like kicking a ball and applying so much force, you know, you could create theories of how far it's gonna go depending on how much force you do. But again, those things are real. The ball's real. You're actually measuring how far you kicked it. You're measuring, you know, all these things. But when theories are built upon other theories, that's literally where the globe falls apart, because everything is built off of the theory of gravity. You know, the gravity is the core that holds the whole heliocentric model together. And how do they get gravity? What is gravity? Just things falling. So something falling. So think about that. The whole heliocentric model, outer space, the ball Earth, is all derived from something falling. Just because something falls, people believe in outer space and the ball Earth theory and all this, and even evolution. You can even go as far as saying that, the Big Bang theory, all these other theories that come from you know, the belief of gravity, which is things falling. So literally people don't even realize why they believe the ball Earth or outer space, but it's because things fall. That's why they believe it. If they logically go through the steps to rationally think why they believe these things, they will come to the conclusion that they believe the Earth is a ball and they believe in outer space and all these fairy tales because things fall. That's the logic in people that they don't even realize that they're using. So they're not, if they don't even realize that faulty logic that they're using, that tells you they're not even thinking. You know what I'm saying? They're just regurgitating, repeating, you know? So they've just been programmed, you know what I'm saying? They're literally society, the majority of society right now, because they don't have the ability to think for themselves or discern, are operating from AI. The majority of people are operating from AI, which is artificial intelligence, which has to be programmed. You know, you see it in robotics, you see it in electronics, in technology. That's AI because a human being has to program it to tell it what to do. You know, its functions, everything. Human beings are being programmed at places like this, USC, you know, and they're operating from AI because they're not operating from their own common sense, their own reasoning, you know. They're operating from what they were told, from what they were programmed to say and do. You know, I'm not saying 100% of what they teach here is bullshit. Some of it is good, like engineering, but at the root of it all, it's all faulty. You know, again, the whole root of this system is based on faith. You know what I'm saying? Faith in the government, faith in money, you know, and it's, again, anything based off of theories or faith or build off on theories and faith, it's gonna fall apart. You know, so it's only a matter of time before the system falls apart as we know it. You know, they're obviously gonna try to rebuild it or offer a new system. You know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, it's up to every single one of us. It's up to me, and it's up to everyone here watching, and everybody out here, what happens next. You know, once the flat Earth lie comes out, a lot of people ask, well, what's going to happen once everybody knows? You know, once the flat Earth goes mainstream, you know, what's the next step, or what's going to happen? Well, the fact of the matter, the reality is, I don't know. But also, it has to come down to, you know, what we want. You know, if we want to take charge of our own lives and everything, you know, how we live and then we're going to have to decide, and we're going to have to be that change. We can't just wait for change to happen. You know, if everybody's just waiting for change to happen, it's literally just like everybody just staring at each other in a room, waiting for someone to do something, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get out of the room. You're not going to get out of the room by just looking at each other. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to start taking charge of your own life and what you want to do. So what's going to happen after Flat Earth comes out and everybody knows? Whatever people want it to be at that point. You know, the people still want to be, you know, dumbed down by just believing other theories and still being lazy, intellectually lazy, and, you know, and still have a bias, then that's going to be up to them. You know, you can't force people to be honest and to be, you know, open-minded and to be, you know, you can't force people to do anything at the end of the day. The crazy part about it is that, I mean, we try to, right? Murder. I was gonna say, you can't even stop someone from murdering if they actually wanted to, you know? You know, obviously we have a judicial system that tries to stop that, you know, but at the end of the day, you just can't stop it. You know, it's bittersweet. Free will is bittersweet. Freedom is bittersweet, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you know, claim they want freedom, but a lot of people believe we're free, that we live in freedom, which obviously they're completely delusional. And for a lot of people that realize we're not free, they probably will be scared, or they probably won't like what true freedom actually is. You know, true freedom is randomness. It's literally, you don't know what's going to happen, you know, and that includes people's behavior, you know, and what they do and all that. And it could seem scary, you know, but that's what freedom is, you know. A system put in place to control people is not freedom anymore. You know, if a system's there to tell you what to do, how to do things, you know, how much you need to work to you know, and how much you need to pay, then that's not freedom anymore, you know. And that's exactly what we're experiencing right now. So freedom could be bittersweet, that's for sure. Yeah, I think overall freedom will be good. A lot of people wouldn't be able to cope with it, especially because of how conditioned we are in this state. You know, a lot of people are just too conditioned. You know, freedom would just be too abstract for a lot of people. You know, I don't think they'll be able to function. I think maybe with time they'll adjust. You know, I'm speaking for myself as well too. You know, I don't think I'll adjust to freedom right away. You know, I'm conditioned as well. You know, to living the lifestyle I live now. You know, having to pay rent, you know, all this, even though it's fucking, you know, unfair, you know, and unnecessary, the ridiculously amount of rent we pay, but But yeah, man, it's little by little. I think people will get accustomed to freedom, and ultimately, it will be better. Unfortunately, crime will still exist. That's what other people would say. Oh, there's no such thing as a perfect system, or that's why things should just stay the way they are. And it's like, okay, just because people are still gonna murder, and doesn't mean we shouldn't strive for freedom. Because it's gonna happen, but very minimal compared to how it happens now. Because a lot of the crime that happens now is fueled by money and drugs. Literally, those are the two main things that fuel crime nowadays. Is money and drugs. Mainly people on drugs are doing the crimes, but yeah, money and drugs is literally what fuels most crimes. So yeah, you take that out of the equation, or you make it optional and not a necessity anymore, and you'll see automatically crime rate go down. Almost overnight it will go down. Because it's crazy how easy we could flip this around. And that's why all this propaganda, all this entertainment, it's all a distraction, because it's so easy to turn this around. Literally, we could flip this quick if that right amount of people became aware and were on the same page. You could easily flip this system around. Like, not even flip it around, but you know what I mean. Like, it would literally get dismantled, easy. But yeah, the war for people's attention. That's a lot of people say that's World War III right there. It's the war of information. So it's the war of people. For people's attention, for people's minds. Keep people distracted. Like a magician, he has to keep you distracted with one hand while he does the trick with the other hand. And again, magicians all we know they do tricks, because all of the tricks they do defy physics. So how do we know they're tricks? Because they defy physics. And again, they can only show you from a distance. You can't examine none of their little props or nothing. Just like NASA, they could only show their little magic tricks of floating objects and like through a screen, of supposedly floating and all this bullshit. Again, just like a magician, they can only do it at a distance. Because the minute you start getting practical with what they're saying, it falls apart. What's up, man? You want to give it a shot?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Podcast or something?
Yeah, kind of a podcast. Yeah, you could say that.
Are you a student here?
I'm actually not a student. No, I'm just visiting the area here.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to challenge the students here. So,
Creativity.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. My name's William.
William?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. Nice to meet you. Okay. So, you want some information that I'm actually sharing?
Yeah.
Here, you could take it home and check it out, man. I'm pretty sure you already heard about this. But yeah, if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask me. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man. Thank you.
I may come back in.
Yeah. If you have any questions. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you. So, hey, what's up, Nick? There has to be like some high school students visiting or something, because either that or they're like, I guess, a lot of freshmen. They literally look like kids to me. Oh, man. I guess I could show you guys real quick how the layout looks since there's nobody crossing right now. So this is what I'm working with. So look, if you go look down this street at the end of that block, it's a good spot to set up too. You know, at the other end, look how many people are over there across the street in that corner. You know, but yeah, there's like a Trader Joe's in here. I wonder if in there is public. I don't see why not. There's like a Trader Joe's and sidewalk. I have a feeling they're gonna say like, oh, but past these poles is USC property or something, or you can't trespass after these poles. So this is where I'm at. That's how it looks. So there's a lot of people crossing across the street right now. So this is how it looks when they're passing by the table.
That is so annoying.
There you go. And there's the table right there. Whew. Oh, whoa. Really windy. Really windy. There we go.
Who's the one that's higher? I don't.
I'm on the corner of Jefferson and Hoover. I guess you could say there is some dorms here in this area. Oh man. So yeah, AI, artificial intelligence, is literally most people are operating from. So, for example, NPC, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of that term. It's just another word for AI, literally. NPC, you know? Again, it's when you just believe and you just repeat what you're told without understanding. You know? That's AI. Fake intelligence. Yeah. Put this in here. What's up, Lev? What up, Shane? That's true. Without wisdom, intelligence is a Porsche without a driver. Exactly, because, for example, like I don't know if you guys seen these like AI robots, like Sophia. I think it's one of the names for one of these robots that supposedly, you know, they're trying to make it have self-awareness, you know, right? And it's AI is really advanced, right? Well, people need to understand that AI, especially these robots, you know, a cockroach is more intelligent than any super advanced AI robot that's out right now. you know, and or that would ever exist for that matter. You know, I doubt human beings are being able to create better intelligence than a cockroach. You know, just so people could grasp how far back, you know, AI actually is when it comes to, you know, real intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So a small cockroach would have way more intelligence, more than any AI robot. You know, fact, simple. You know. So all this, you know, propaganda about, oh, AI is gonna take over. You know, if anything, robots. You know, the AI from robots is not taking over. It's the ignorance in people, the AI in people. That's what's took over. I mean, for the last who knows how many years already. You know, that's the AI that's already been taking over. It's the AI in people. You know, people's ignorance, people's misunderstanding, people's, you know, lack, you know, in the ability to comprehend simple stuff. You know, that's what's taking over and what's took over. You know, that's the AI, not robotics. AI and robotics is a, you know, I mean, it's useful. It's a useful tool. Don't get me wrong. It's a very useful tool. You know, electronics, mechanics, you know, all this to simplify, you know, life. But I can guarantee you right now, life ain't really simple for the majority. Life is not getting simpler. It's only getting harder. So yeah, the AI, you know, the advantages we could have from the technology that, you know, that humans are using, it's being taken advantage of, you know. Everything should be getting cheaper the more industrial something gets, you know. The more quantity you create of something, the more big you create the business, the cheaper it should get, you know. But we see the opposite happening with big business, you know. The bigger businesses get, the bigger, you know, the richer they get, the more everybody else gets thrown under the bus, you know, the more expensive everything gets, you know. Yeah, it's only a matter of time though, so it's only up to us. So like a college degree or a university degree, right? You could literally call it a AI certificate or an AI degree. You could also call it an obedience degree, you know, an obedience degree or an AI degree, you know. So yeah, when people bring up, oh, what did you study or blah 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 blah, or what university did you go to, or it's literally they're just appealing to a piece of paper now. Like it just tells you that they're, you know, desperately trying to defend it by casually mocking. You know, again, just again goes to the mocking. That's the only defense the globe has. People literally in the real world do it and they don't even realize it. But because again, it's a program response. You know, at the end of the day, you know, not everybody's the same. That's why not everybody responds the same way. But it's pretty similar. Yep, a discipline degree. Yep. AI certificate. Literally, like it's artificial intelligence at universities. What's up, CJ Williams, G Monk, Raina, Nick? What's up, anybody that's just joined? Oh my god. Grabbing some water. Oh my god.
I do.
Mm.
I got something so bad.
Yeah, this is way better. How do you call it? A way better environment, at least for me, to be doing this than Hollywood. That's for sure. You know, probably be a long time before I go back to Hollywood. Too hectic, man. It's just like the energy there when you're there in the middle of it. It's like, I don't know. It's just like, especially with all the crazy shit going on with, like, you know, the drug users that are right there. You know, because they're everywhere, especially in that, you know, in the boardwalk, and then all the people just constantly, you know, there, and it's just the energy is pretty high. It's like, ooh. I felt so relieved when I left that day, when I was in Hollywood. It was just like a relief once I left. I was like, oh, damn. So yeah, this is way more chill, way more my style, if anything, you know. So yeah, I get to relax a little bit more. Believe it or not, too, people will snatch shit, you know, in an instant, too. So if I had, like, my backpack on the side or something and I wasn't paying attention, somebody could easily take it, you know? Like, so I gotta make sure I keep everything inside the table. And I'm not here so much, but when I'm in, like, downtown areas, especially, you know, because, yeah, people are grimy nowadays. Cool, what's up, Ricardo? What's up, Mad Mac? Yeah, for sure I'll be keeping it under 2 hours, so we'll see how it goes. 1 more hour. I already got 2 conversations. They were short, but better than nothing. That's for sure. Damn, sometimes I gotta stretch, man. For anybody that plans on going out to universities or, doing activism at universities, you got to remember this. Most of the students, most of them, are freshly out of high school, which means they're still kids. They're still very, very, very young. They're still like basically children, most of them, freshly 18, 19. Point is, they're freshly out of high school, meaning there's no reason to be intimidated, or get nervous. I know it's a natural thing that happens because of the subject, and I get it. But at the end of the day, just remember that most of the students here are fresh out of high school, and if you look at high school students, they're not the brightest, no offense to any high school students, but most, again, it's not their fault. They've just they've gone through the system, believing everything they were told, just like everybody else did, and a lot of them just haven't came across any truth or anyone that speaks truth, so they're just, again, it's not their fault, but yeah, a lot of these students, most of the students, you shouldn't be intimidated, any university, anywhere you go, it's just the same, it's gonna be the same thing, so. What's up, man? So, first question, do you trust your common sense?
I would say I do.
Yeah, right. We all should, right? Because that's what keeps us alive. So I have 3 very easy questions, multiple choice, and I want to test to see if you do trust your common sense. So we'll see if you could get at least 2 of the 3. So the first one's the hardest, but then they get easier. So I have 2 images here, and the reason I call them images is because one of them's a photograph and one of them's a painting. So I want to see if people could tell the difference.
Photograph, one of them is a painting?
Yeah.
This is a photograph, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Just right off. Actually, painting. I think this is a photograph.
Okay, fair enough. It was actually a trick question. They're both paintings.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't expect people to get this one because obviously it's impossible, but there is 2 reasons why I asked this question. It has to do with common sense. So the first reason is just believing someone opens the door to being deceived, right? Because you believe me that one's a photograph, that influenced your choice, right? So it's not good to just believe someone. So the second reason is if you want to determine something is real, an image is not good enough. Because if I show you an image of me flying or me like carrying an elephant, would you believe I could do those things? No, right? Because that defies physics, So if an image defies physics, we should throw the image away, So these next 2 actually have to do with physics, elementary physics. So I can't lie to you, So could we agree once water's contained, especially like in this bottle, it always seeks the lowest point? In other words, it always goes down. Because I could turn the bottle upside down, water always goes to the bottom, and it always levels out, but it always goes down. So since we understand that fact about water, that it always seeks the bottom, I took 2 pictures, one like this and one upside down, and I painted the water blue with food coloring just to make it easier to see. But since we understand water always goes down, how I'm showing you these 2, which one is the one that I took upside down? Or which one is upside down of these 2? Yeah, since we understand water always goes to the bottom or seeks.
This is upside down.
There you go, you got it, yeah. I took it like that because the water can't stick to the top of the bottle. So you got it. So you do trust your common sense.
Yeah, I can see where somebody could overthink that.
A lot of people
I
do.
almost did.
No.
That was pretty
Especially because of the first question is a trick question.
They start thinking too hard.
But you got it. So this last one's even easier, and it has to do with water. So water always finds its level, right?
Okay.
What could be another word for level?
Level?
Level. So you ever seen one of these, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do they use these for?
To measure the level. Or
Measure the
like
so
even, yeah.
to make sure it's even. That's a good word for level, but the proper definition will be horizontal. Because we could have a straight line, but if it's at a slope, it's not level. It has to be a horizontal straight line. That's what level means. So water always finds its level. Since we understand what level means, and what water always finds its level. Which one of these 2 represents the level as we know it? A or B when we're looking at the water.
So
Which one represents level?
this one.
Yeah, that's the obvious one. So the real reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe you, have been tricked to believing this is what level means, even though we know it's this one. You want to know how we were tricked? Do you believe the Earth is a ball?
The Earth is a ball?
Yeah, a sphere, right? That's what they tell us, right? So NASA in specific, they claim to have satellites orbiting the Earth. So they need to know the radius of orbit because if they're supposedly going around the Earth. So they do tell us the radius of the Earth is 3,959 miles, which gives us a circumference of 24,901, which means there has to be curvature every mile. So the first mile, there's an 8-inch drop. Second mile is a 32-inch, and by the third mile, there should be 6 feet of curvature. And every mile, it just keeps increasing. So by 10 miles, there should be 66 feet of curvature.
So if this image had, it is by miles.
Yeah. So here's the thing though, if we actually went out in nature like a giant lake that was miles across to physically measure for this curvature, we understand that water is going to be parallel to any horizontal or level structure above it.
Right, because water is never like that.
Exactly, especially if you go to a lake.
I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely looking at your bottle and I was like, it's flat there, so it should.
Exactly, no, and it doesn't change. The people would say, oh, it's the scale. Right, or distance, right? So again, even if it was true, there's lakes that are over 20 miles across, so that curvature should be measurable in these lakes, in every lake on Earth and the oceans. But this will be the #1 experiment to debunk the globe, a physical measurement of the Earth. So if I was to ask you, what's the #1 proof or reason that makes you believe that the Earth is a sphere or a ball?
I don't know. Not gravity. I guess the horizon, maybe?
The horizon? Okay, I'm glad you brought up the horizon. So I do have some images of the horizon. They're photographs, but again, you don't have to take my word for them. But these are taken with a standard lens, because I don't know if you knew GoPros with the fisheye lens, they warp the image, right? So these are standard cameras. So how would you describe the horizon? Like, how would you describe it?
It's clearly flat in the picture.
I would say it's horizontal, and I would say that's where the word horizon comes from the word horizontal. So another thing about the horizon is they'll claim that, the horizon is the curve of the Earth, right? That's why you can't see past it, right? So if that was true, if that was truly the curvature of the Earth that starts to go down, the higher we elevate, the more and more we should look down on the horizon, but nobody ever looks down at the horizon. The horizon always rises with you, and it's because the horizon is just the limit of perspective. So it's the vanishing point of how far we could see.
You're saying Earth is flat? Is that what you're trying to get at?
Basically, but I know Flat Earth has a bad, reputation online right now, especially. So I try to stay away from Flat Earth.
Do you think flat earthers are thinking too much, maybe?
So there is a lot of controlled opposition. So a lot of Flat Earth groups that will talk nonsense as well.
As there always is with any group.
Exactly. Any group is going to have both sides, even control, I would say, as well, especially if they're trying to control information, which in my opinion, this is a #1 controlled subject online right now. It's the #1 censored, and that's the way they're controlling it. They're controlling it by having a bunch of Flat Earth groups talk about a bunch of nonsense, so that if people come across this subject, they'll hear these crazy Flat Earthers, because some of them are crazy, I'm not going to lie. They'll talk bullshit theories too. Like, I stay away from theories. I stick with what's practical, cold hard facts, exactly, physics. So yeah, there's a lot of misrepresentation, and again, Flat Earthers, that's just a label to label it. I'm just a realist, if anything. I'm just the one person that came across this. I'm not part of any group. I'm just being by myself. And the reason why I'm out here is actually being censored since like 2019. So if you go on Google or YouTube, all the algorithms have been changed so that anybody that's genuine like me talking about this, you'll never come across it. You'll get just Neil deGrasse. You know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is, right? Yeah. So all these so-called experts, I would say they're just expert liars. So they are experts, but not in science. You're just expert liars. So here's another thing real quick. The only place you're ever going to see curvature, like I said, is through GoPro cameras that curve horizons like this. Or through CGI cartoons like this. So all the images that's showing us from outer space, they're admitting they're not photographs. They call them images, and they're all Photoshop.
What do you think
basically.
the shape of the Earth is like?
So the surface is 100% level. Can anybody get out of the Earth to see the hole? I don't think that's possible. Why? Because we have air pressure here, right? So the fact that we have air pressure means that the air is trying to escape, meaning the only way to have air pressure is to have a container that's completely sealed. So if you want to have a higher pressure than the air pressure we have here, you need a container that's completely sealed, like a cylinder, and then you add air in it. Sure, like a ball, for example, like a soccer ball or a basketball. Those have like 39 psi. Out here, supposedly like 14.7 psi. My point is, if Earth has pressure, it's being physically contained somehow. So I don't think anybody can leave the Earth to see it as a whole.
So we will never know what the Earth is shaped like?
As a whole, I don't think so. So
Do you have any idea, like if I were to ask you, give me like a 3D model, what do you think?
A lot of people are trying to get like a model of the flat Earth, right? But it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So I think it could be more like a realm. So a realm. But to be honest, it could.
You think it's endless?
Some people think that. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I'm okay with not knowing. A lot of people are not comfortable with that, to just say I don't know. I'm comfortable.
Humans are naturally going to try to fill
Exactly, and it's like kind of like an ego thing, if you ask me, that people just want to know, But there's just some things about this place that we just don't know, and whether there is a truth to be found out, I don't know. You know, because a lot of people talk about the dome theory. I don't know if you heard of the dome. I would say that's a more scientific theory than outer space, because they're trying to tell us that outer space is a negative pressure system next to the Earth's pressure without a solid barrier. They're trying to tell us that gravity is holding all the air in, but the air is being contained somehow by a physical barrier, if you ask me. So yeah, I do have some information if you want to take, because you know that you could cross-reference, because it is being censored heavily. And
I'm probably good, but
no,
I do gotta go.
no problem, man.
Hey,
thank you. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Okay, so I took these out. Okay, so these go like this. Huh? Yeah, the guy, he understood it. He definitely understood it. Definitely understood it. But again, what kept him from taking the flyer, I don't know, it's just like that little bias in him, you know. It's what kept him from taking the flyer. But again, it's cool. The seat's planted, you know, and he can never say now that he's never came across a flat earther, right? Yeah, these labels, man, I hate labels. I even hate the vegan label. I don't even like to say I'm vegan. You know, like, it's just these labels. If you ask me, you know, part of the reason why I don't like veganism, you know, as a label, or being a vegan, is because in my opinion, people that eat meat should have the label, you know. They should be, you know, it should be a label, carnist or something like that. And if you don't eat meat, then that's the norm. They flipped it, if you ask me. You know, if you didn't eat meat, that was the norm, you know. And then if you did eat meat, you were a carnist. And now it's the opposite. If you eat meat, you're the norm. And if you don't eat meat, you're a vegan. So, yeah. But yeah, I don't like labels regardless. Good or bad. You know, it's all subjective at the end of the day, but I personally don't like labels. I get that labels could be catchy, you know, and you know, get people's attention, obviously, you know, and which it's a good thing, you know. Nothing wrong with, you know, using catchy phrases and stuff like that, but to own it, I'll never own any label. Hell no. So yeah. Flat Earth.
So if it off, then you know I can see.
Yeah, there was a girl that was staring the whole time she was waiting for the light. Literally didn't turn for a second, just staring the whole time at the sign. I thought she was gonna come up to it, but nah.
No, wait, my mix was not 10%. It was 11.25.
Yeah, so hopefully, whenever I do small jobs here in LA in the morning, you know, when I'm for sure gonna be done before noon, I'm gonna try to hit this spot every time before going home. You know, at least once a week, you know, if possible. Well, not this spot in specific, but this area, you know. I'm sure that during the week, you know, it's a lot of activity as well. Maybe even more than now, even though it's Saturday, but well, who knows? We'll see. But yeah, definitely I'm gonna make this a regular spot, a regular area to come to. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time in Hollywood, or even I was thinking of going to downtown LA. But to be honest, I thought it was gonna be like similar crowd, you know, like maybe a lot of people don't want to talk to anyone, you know, they're just doing their own thing. At least at universities, at least people are trying to think, you know, about stuff. So yeah. What's up? Oh, hell yeah. So, first question, do you trust your common sense?
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. So, we're going to test to see if that's true. I have 3 very easy questions, multiple choice.
All right, let's see.
And the first one's the hardest, but then they get easier, and then we're going to see. All right,
Okay.
so I have 2 images here.
Yep.
And the reason I call them images is because one of them's a photograph and one of them's a painting. So, I want to see if people can tell the difference.
I'll say this is a painting.
Okay, so you think it's a photograph?
Yeah.
Okay. It was actually a trick question. They're both paintings. Okay, so I don't expect people to get this one, obviously, because it's impossible to tell, but there is 2 reasons why I asked this question. It has to do with common sense. So the first reason is just believing someone opens the door to being deceived, right? Because you believe me that one's a photograph and that influenced your choice. So it's not just to just believe someone, right? So the second reason is if we want to determine something is real, an image is not good enough. Because if I show you an image of me flying or me lifting an elephant, would you believe I could do those things? No, right? Because that defies physics. You know, so if an image defies physics, we should throw the image away, basically, is my point. So the next 2 actually have to do with physics, with water in specific. So can we agree once water is contained, like in this bottle, it always seeks the lowest point? In other words, it always goes to the bottom, because I could turn the bottle upside down, but water always goes down, regardless of the orientation of the bottle, right? That's what water does. So since we understand that fact about water, I took 2 pictures of my bottle like this and one upside down. But since we understand that water always goes down, and I painted the water blue with food coloring just to make it easier to see. Since we understand water always goes down, how I'm showing you these 2, which one is upside down? Which one's the one that I took upside down? If we're looking at the water, that's what's going to
This
show.
could be the ceiling, not the floor, so I have no way of knowing.
If you're looking at the water is going to show you which one's upside down. If water always goes to the bottom of the bottle.
Not necessarily, because this could be the ceiling in this photo, and this could be the floor in this photo.
I know.
In other words, this could be the bottom here, and this could be the bottom here.
Exactly. So if we understand that, if we're looking at the water, how I'm showing you, then which one is upside down?
I'm saying it could be neither, it could be both. Or
Okay, I'll tell you which one's, and I'll tell you why. Okay. This one's the one I'm showing you upside down because the water can't stick to the top of the bottle. Mm-hmm. I took this one holding it up to the ceiling, like you said.
Okay. Yeah.
So in this one, I just took it right side up, like on the table, like this. So.
But if the floor also had this same look, they could have both been right side up.
They could have, but it wasn't because of the water. The water shows you.
I'm saying that the water won't show me anything, because I'm saying that the floor and the ceiling can both look the same.
Well, exactly. So the floor and the ceiling won't tell you anything because they could both look the same.
Yeah.
What's not going to be the same is the water if you're actually holding one upside down.
But I'm saying that these photos could both be right side up, though.
Well, not if the water in the bottle is on top of the bottle. I would say any picture you show me of water sticking to the top of a water bottle, I would say that image was taken upside down. Simply because nobody will be able to make this water stick to the top and have air underneath.
Oh, what do you mean? Like, why wouldn't this be?
Well, that's because you turned the bottle upside down.
So you're saying...
So water still only has one direction, is my point.
You're saying with the bottle right side up, the water can never be on this half.
Exactly. With the bottle right side up.
Wait, let me see these photos. I want to think about that first.
Yeah, go for it.
It's interesting.
The only way to do it is if you take it upside down, like I did right here. But
I see. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty simple thing, pretty simple experiment you could do yourself. So this last question is even easier. I'm pretty sure you're not going to get confused, but have you ever heard of water always finds its level?
Yeah.
Yeah? So, that's why, these are, what would be another word for level? If you had to use a different word.
Interesting.
I mean, what do they use these in construction for?
Yeah, I mean, they use it to see if it's level, but I'm just trying to think.
Okay.
Objective to to the Earth's core, what's the relation?
Well, what's another word for level if you had to use a different word? Like, just a simple term.
I guess even, but...
Even's a good one.
Even, but that's
Yeah, it's not really precise, but yeah.
Okay,
sure.
but I mean, if you look up the definition for level right now on your phone, it's going to tell you it's a horizontal line or a horizontal surface. That's what level means. I mean, as we know it, you know, if you go to any pool, you know, water, you know, once contained, it always finds its level. That's what water does.
Yeah.
You know, so since we understand the fact about water, you know, it always finds its level. Which one of these two represents level as we know it when we're looking at the water? A or B?
Well, B, because it's
Okay.
it's going to the Earth's core.
Okay, so it leads me to this next point. So you believe the Earth is a ball then, right? So you believe that the Earth is curving 8 inches per mile square, and at 3 miles, the surface of water bends? You
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
Yeah, so okay. So in my opinion, if we go to any lake on Earth, the surface of water is going to be horizontal. It's going to be level.
Well,
if you ask me.
won't. It'll be incrementally off.
Okay,
But
okay,
yeah.
okay. Incrementally meaning
Like
this is
less extreme version of that. But
right,
yeah.
right. So let me just give you so NASA in specific, they claim to have satellites orbiting the Earth, so they need to know the radius of orbit, so they need to know the radius of the Earth. So they do tell us the radius of the Earth because they're supposedly going around it, and the radius of the Earth is 3,159 miles, which means there has to be curvature every mile, and every mile it increases. So the first mile there's an 8-inch drop, second mile 32 inches, by the third mile there should be 6 feet of curvature, and that's what this graph will represent.
Okay.
But in 10 miles there should be 66 feet of curvature. So we have lakes on Earth, you know, anywhere on Earth that are over 10 miles long, you know, easily.
Yeah.
So we should be able to physically measure this curvature. But in my opinion, if we were to actually physically measure a lake, like the surface of the water, you know, practically like this, a physical measurement, the water is going to show us, if anything, if we built the level structure straight or not. So I would say the surface of the water is 100% horizontal, always. And a physical measurement will show that. So if I was to ask you, what's the number one proof or reason that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball?
That the Earth
Is a ball, yeah, or that it's a sphere.
Well, my answer won't be.
Practical?
Well, I would just say like that's a good question. I mean, I would just say I guess I've seen it in terms of how like the Earth's like the Earth's core drags things to it. I mean, I guess what you're saying, like a ball is maybe not like the right term because the Earth isn't a ball. It's
You're
like,
saying
it's not a
oblate sphere, an
Yeah.
oblate spheroid, right? So
Yeah.
here's the thing about an oblate spheroid, because in mathematics they try to redefine the word level to mean equal distance from the center to the surface or outer circumference of a sphere. That's what level means in mathematics to defend the globe. That's how they redefined it. Equal distance, right? So if you have, you know, 10 feet above sea level here and 10 feet above sea level here, they're saying that that's on the same level because it's equal distance to the center, right? 10 feet from the... What I'm saying is that people that claim that it's an oblate spheroid contradicts that claim of level, because that definition of level would mean that the Earth is a perfect sphere.
That's true.
So to claim that it's an oblate spheroid and to also claim that level means equal distance from the surface, it's a contradiction on its own. But again, even if it was an oblate spheroid or a sphere, that water's not going to show us not even an inch of curvature regardless of the distance. So there should be curvature every mile, that's my point, and every mile increasing. So you could say the Earth is twice the size they're telling us, half of this curvature should still be there. You know what I'm saying? And my point is not even an inch will be there, you know, if we actually went out and practically measured the surface of a lake.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, I do have, do you have any questions, I mean, before you go, or?
Not really.
Okay.
Good to go though.
Okay, so here, take this. I mean, you could throw it away after if you want, but these are the 6 main proofs, again, practical proofs that debunk the ball Earth, and there are some links there because it is being censored. If you go on your own, you're not going to be able to find anything genuine. So you could use this to cross-reference. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to believe anything I'm saying, you know, but appreciate it, man. Thanks for it. All right. Yeah, very few people, when they see the level structure with the level water, for very few people, it clicks like that it's a globe, you know, that it's a globe question or a ball or a Earth question, you know. You know, I've noticed that like 1 out of 10 people, you know, something like that, maybe even less, when I show the A and B, they automatically, you know, think of a globe, which that just shows the propaganda, you know what I'm saying? That just shows the programming that, you know, automatically, you know, they literally controlling people's thoughts through symbols and mantras and buzzwords, you know what I'm saying? And it's literally a display of it, literally, you know what I'm saying? Because I hadn't mentioned anything about the Earth as a whole, you know, but a lot of people off the back, they see that and boom, You know, they think the answer is B just based on their belief of what they were told, not based on the practicality of the physics of water. No, based on what they were told. You know, and again, that tells me right there that you don't trust your common sense. You trust what people tell you. You know, and that seems to be the line. You know, that I've noticed that people that don't trust their common sense usually trust an authority. You know, it's like they have to fill in that gap of trusting something, right? But if you ask me, what better to trust than your own being, your own common sense, your own reasoning, you know, your own understanding. You know, that's the one thing you should trust. You know, so the people that don't have that, they usually trust someone else or some kind of authority. You know, or you know, that's usually the case. So yeah, it's still pretty windy. I'm glad I decided to put the mic on. Insecurity, right on, Tony? That's true. It's part of being insecure. Yeah. Yeah, see if I could get one more at least. NPC. I know, Base Truth. I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about stuff like that. That some people could just be built different, you know, and then it's just only certain people in it. But then that kind of goes into like, oh man, like leaders, right? Like, you know, only certain people can be leaders, and the rest are doomed to just be sheep and followers, right? And you need good leaders to lead the rest to good, right? And in my head, like, I've thought about that, but then at the same time, it's like, damn, that leads kind of to religion. That would literally lead back to religion. So in my head, it's like, no, there's no way that people have to be independent. I mean, animals are independent. I mean, obviously, you know, except for the ones that have formed their families. But even then, they're independent as a family because there's different families. Like, for example, elephants and orcas in the ocean, you know, they form packs, right? But they're still independent as a family. They're not creating a system where they're all depending on each other now. No, they're independent, you know, as a family, but, you know, obviously depending on each other, you know, in a smaller group, you know, so yeah, forgot where I was going with that. Kind of brain farted, but yeah, safe to say that human beings, you know, especially in society, are not independent. We are far from independent, you know. You know, freedom and independence are literally hand in hand, you know, probably the same word for the same thing, two different words for the same thing. I know, for the animals in the zoos, it does suck. I heard someone say that if you were to take an animal from a zoo, right, that was born in the zoo, was born in a zoo and grew to be an adult, then you take this animal from the zoo and you let him free. You could even put him in his natural habitat, you know, and you just let him free. That animal most likely is not gonna even know what to do. You know, it's who knows? You know, I don't even think it'll survive very long. He's not gonna have any survival instincts from predators or anything. So I think human beings are kind of in that same scenario where if human beings would be let free right now, humans wouldn't know what to do. You know, so you could say society is kind of like a zoo, you know, where everybody's just looking at each other. Everybody's the animal and everybody's the attraction and everybody's the visitor too, huh? You could say society is kind of like a zoo, and yeah, if people were to be let free, you know, or in other words, get rid of government and actually let freedom reign, I believe right now, if we just to do it overnight, you know, most people would not know what to do, you know, and it's sad but true, you know. It's literally a scenario with the animal in a zoo that will, you know, let's go, you know, the animal's not gonna know what to do. So again, part of the conditioning, you know. I know, at free range, you could say that, but the crazy part is that it's a mental barrier. It's not even a real barrier. Animals, at least they're smart enough to not be tricked by illusions, well, at least, you know, beliefs, because obviously they don't, you know, language, you know, you can't make an animal believe of, you know, of an imaginary fence or limit, unless I know they have those electric fences, right? Unless you zap them all the time, and then eventually they learn not to go past that, and then you could probably take the zapper off and it probably won't go past that. even though they don't have the zapper. But again, you condition them again. So I guess you could condition animals physically to think there's a physical barrier. But with human beings, you don't even have to do it like that. You know, it's all just by believing, you know. So if you ask me, animals are a bit more intelligent in that regard because it takes a bit more to trick an animal not to go beyond a certain point than it does humans. You know, that's just a fact.
Some poor college kid.
Right.
Do you know what you're doing?
Oh yeah, I am. I'm challenging students' common sense here, so
Huh?
I'm challenging the students' common sense. I'm not a student here,
Okay.
so
Before you channel that,
yeah,
you got your cell phone?
yeah, I am myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to go to YouTube
Sure.
and look up Outer Limits.
Outer Limits.
Outer Limits, the theme.
Outer Limits, the theme.
Yeah. I'm 61 years old, so the theme says, "Welcome to the Outer Limits. We control what you look at. We control what you see. We can zoom in. We can zoom out.
Okay.
We control everything."
Okay, what was that? Outer Limits.
Yeah, TV show. The theme. The
Theme. Oh, theme.
1963.
Outer Limits theme. Classic TV theme. Outer Limits. Two versions.
Yeah.
Is it just an audio?
Yeah. So listen to it when you get a chance. So let me just tell
Sure,
you
sure, sure. Yeah, I will.
I deal with mind control,
Okay. Oh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Actually, is here. So it's.
but these people are not open.
Oh, that's why I'm here trying to crack that.
They
you
don't
know.
want to.
I mean.
I just met a guy today, and he was looking at a statue. And I
Okay.
went around that statue over there, and I knocked on it.
Okay. Okay.
I looked at it, and I said, you know what? They need to stop. And I told the guy that I used to be a conspiracist.
Okay.
As soon as I said that, that man said, "I don't want to hear nothing."
Right.
I said,
Right.
then
Right.
you're not open to the truth.
Exactly.
He said, "I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it." I said, that's why they're going to kill your generation off.
No, yeah, you seem to be pretty aware about what's going on,
Yeah.
especially with the dumbing down of society
So-
and
There is an instrument that the government uses,
right.
and it's called a sound device. Sound device.
Sound device. Okay, I've heard of
Okay.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Who's to say they don't have one on these top floors aiming at these people down here?
I mean, that's for sure. I mean, the technology that the military has, who knows what they actually have and what they can actually do with it, So
let me
nobody really
introduce
knows.
myself. Captain Lloyd,
Okay. So you were
United States Army,
okay.
first to the 214th Aviation.
Okay.
Desert Storm Commander.
Okay. Nice.
So, do we have a heart attack gun? Yes.
Okay. Oh wow.
Was I into bioweapons? Yes.
Okay.
Was I into sound frequency?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I've heard of all that, yeah. Especially
Okay.
the sound frequency ones, yeah.
So, does it work?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But this is the thing. It's not technical.
Okay.
It's spiritual.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I'll tell you how. Are you a superhero person?
No.
Have you seen any of the Marvel or DC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
So, one day, I didn't get, quote, saved until I got like 33 years old.
Okay.
As soon as I opened up the Bible, I said, something ain't right about this book.
Right.
I like what it says,
Right.
but something ain't right about it. So
Right.
it is cryptic, and I know how to read cryptic
Okay.
footnotes in there.
Okay.
But two things are still true.
Okay.
There is a God,
Okay, I know that, yeah.
and there's good and evil.
Yeah, you
Okay.
could say that, yeah.
Good
Like, we can experience that here, yeah.
So, good wants to win, bad wants to win.
Right.
Good wants people, bad wants people. Good wants control, bad wants to control. So, when they had a fight in heaven,
Mm-hmm.
spirits came down to earth,
Okay.
okay? And they're called the fallen angels.
Okay, now is this literal or is this cryptic?
It's literal.
Literal, okay.
But it's in books that were taken out of the Bible.
Okay, I see.
So, every movie, every TV show, every commercial is playing the same script
Right.
over. And
Right,
I'm
right.
sitting there like, do nobody see this?
No, yeah. There's a lot of repetition.
It's a lot of
That's how they
repetition
program. That's how they
on the same
brainwash.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is what I think
Yeah.
happened. Because if you understand was it Superman or Iron Man?
Iron Man. Okay. I think I watched the first one,
Okay.
but
Loki's supposed to be the bad guy.
okay.
Loki. And then Captain America and Iron Man supposed to be the good guy.
Okay.
Okay? Then you look at Mr. Love, and he travels through space dimensions. When we die, our spirit does not die. It goes back to God.
Right.
Now, where does it go? Is there a prison planet out there? Is it a hell planet out there? Is it a location? I believe yes. Okay? But
A spirit realm, basically. You could
Spirit
say.
realm. So they came down to earth. No, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Okay? So God created it. He's chilling. He like, I like this. But he didn't create man yet.
Right.
Okay? Somewhere on the third day, the fallen angels got kicked out of heaven.
Right.
They came down to earth. They were like, yeah! Yeah, this is our place.
Right.
Then on the third day, God creates man in the midst of them coming down here.
Okay.
So he puts up he blows in them, and he creates them. Now they're going like, nigga, what you just did? You told us we can have this earth. This is our property, and you put these stupid, naive people here.
Right.
And God said, if they just listen to me, they'll be okay.
Right.
Okay? So I'll handle them. You just, y'all can have the rest of the earth. Just don't mess with these people in the garden. Because I always ask myself, how was the snake able to walk upright,
Right.
talk to a human,
Right.
and convince her?
Right.
So God talked to Adam. Adam's walking in the thing going, you're a lion. You're a giraffe. You're a bug, whatever it is.
Just like magic.
Yes. And Eve is literally left by herself to have a long conversation.
Right.
A long conversation with something that she ain't supposed to talk to.
Right.
And she didn't even ask, where you come from?
Right.
So I call them shapeshifters.
Oh, okay. I
He
see.
shaped it into something that was pleasing to her eye that she could understand.
Right. So.
So basically, the fight is still on today.
Right.
They want our soul because apparently our soul has some kind of energy that they
Right.
can use.
Right.
If you saw the movie Matrix,
Right.
okay, the ship in the Matrix was the Nebuchadnezzar.
Right.
The Nebuchadnezzar come out of the book of Daniel.
Okay.
And Nebuchadnezzar was not a nice guy
Okay.
in the Bible. He was
Okay.
not. He took Daniel and he said, if you don't bow down to me and worship me, then, I'll throw you to the lion's den and I'll have all this other stuff. And Daniel like, no, I'm not going to do it. I
Right.
believe in my God. I
Right.
don't believe in your God. So it's playing all over
Right.
again.
No, right.
We're
Right.
coming to scene 4 where they want to take over the world.
Right. Oh yeah. New World Order, right?
Right.
So, you consider yourself an open-minded person, right?
Very. In
I'm-
fact, that's what got me in trouble.
I'm literally looking for open-minded people to share the information I'm sharing with, and the fact that you've been in the military, in the army, to be exact, it's actually a really good thing for me
So I'll
to
give
present
you my
this.
information.
So here, let
No. Let me tell you
Sure,
what
sure,
happened.
sure.
For everything I just told you,
Right.
I lost 2 houses.
Okay.
A demon came in my room and sat on my chest.
Okay.
A witch came in my house and stuck a pipe up a little. No. Witch came in the house, set it on fire. They blamed me because I was black. I went to jail, and she went up north, stuck a pipe up a little girl's vagina,
I see.
drained the blood,
Right.
threw her body in the suitcase.
Oh my God.
So I'll tell you some stuff behind the camera because I'm getting tired of being beaten up in the spiritual realm because they don't want you to know this
right now.
Right.
I am currently in transitional housing again
Right.
because the phones are listening to us.
Right.
I can give you some websites. I can give you some YouTube information.
So,
But I'm not going in front of that yet.
No. So,
Until there's more of me.
real quick, before you go, I'll just give you this information here. I'm pretty sure you heard about this subject. You might think I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist after looking at
All
it.
of them are real. That's true.
I'll give it to you straight. You know, I
That's
usually
true.
do 3 questions before getting into this.
That is true. So in the Bible, you got to understand the firmament.
Exactly. There we go. So outer space doesn't exist. It's actually all just made up based on the lights in the sky that we could see them. So the scientists are just making up stories about how far these stars are and what they actually are. But in reality, there's probably a dome over us, covering us. I'm not biblical myself. I do respect people's religion and their beliefs, but science shows me that we have air pressure here. So it has to be contained. So the air is being contained somehow. So a dome theory will be more logical than the outer space theory.
Right.
So outer space, again, is just make believe to make us believe that the Earth is
So
about.
Do you believe that this is a hologram?
To be honest, it could be some kind of technology, which then could say that maybe it could be some kind of hologram, but I'm not sure whether this place is spiritual or mechanical. I'm still in the middle. I don't know. I know it was created, though. Whether what this God is, though, I don't know. If I'm being honest with myself, you know.
Okay. Do you believe in interdimensional travel?
I think we do that with our dreams every night. If I think that's the closest thing to that.
So what is your name?
William.
William. What's your birthday?
I was born in 1991.
What is your actual birthday?
It's September 16, 1991.
Okay. And you're born and raised out here?
Yeah.
So, I've been asking people that question because of synchronicities.
Oh, so you're more going to like the astrology aspects of things?
Synchronicities is nobody comes into your life by accident.
But what does your birthday have to do with that?
No, I asked a series of questions.
I see.
So, why God? Maybe the avatar up there, maybe a spirit up there. I believe in spirit because that's who I am. Told me to stop and talk to you.
Right. Oh, okay.
So what do you have in common? My brother's name is William.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I do this all day long and I'll be like, am I in another dimension? Am I in a space thing?
Here's the way I see it. Everything happens for a reason.
Right.
That's the way I see it. And yeah, that's a pretty crazy coincidence there.
So you have a pen?
I have my phone. I can write in my notes.
I need a pen. I like writing.
Oh, okay. I actually don't have a pen, unfortunately.
Your generation don't have a
pen. With these phones, man. We're too conditioned now. We got away from the pen and paper.
They're tracking everything.
Oh, yeah. On their phone, everything's being tracked. I know that. 100%. Yeah. They talk about microchipping people, right? It's already, you're carrying a chip with you. Everybody with a cell phone, they don't need to put a microchip in you. You're already carrying one with you. Everybody has their cell phone with them.
Like in the military, we got certain untrackable phones.
Right,
and we got the bags you can put in.
Oh, okay.
It takes away the frequencies and connect.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So when people say we go off the grid, we really know how to go off.
No, yeah. Grid. I mean, there's a lot of loon satellites. I don't know if you heard of those, because satellites that they're telling us up there, they don't exist. So what they're using is loon satellites, which are giant helium balloons that have basically cell phone I would say technology. Basically, yeah. So that's how they're getting basically internet service in remote areas is through these loon satellites. It's not real satellites outside of the Earth, right? Again, because we are contained somehow. So to claim that we're outside of the Earth, orbiting it, it's all bullshit. So yeah, everything is spy drone planes or loon or balloons.
Okay.
Everything.
So the reason why I believe the Bible, because the Bible was written millions and millions of years ago from some type of entity, spirit that was here before us.
Right.
So with that said, Ephesians 2:2 says Satan, Lucifer, the devil is the prince of the air.
Right.
Waves, 5G.
Yeah.
Then 1945, 46, we caused a nuclear explosion. And something aliens came back into our dimension.
Yeah, I would. If aliens do exist, another humanoid person,
Call it what you want.
I would say they're across on another place here on Earth. They're not coming from above. Again, outer space to me is just make believe. So again, if extraterrestrials exist, they are in the extra land outside of the land that we know of, across. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody knows the dimensions of the Earth and how far it extends. So yeah.
So you don't believe in outer space
Outer
at all?
space, no. It's literally, to me, anything about outer space is just Disney for adults. Because everything they show, all the images or photographs from outer space are all cartoons. They're all images. They don't call them photographs.
So what about the Hubble telescope?
Yeah, all the telescopes that they have, they're all images. They don't even call them photographs. They call them images. And it's because they're all paintings. So everything about outer space, all these planets and all these nebulas and black holes, all of that is just fairy tale.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all the planets.
Again, they're just made up. Let me show you what the stars actually look like. I actually have some images here. So this is what the stars actually look like when you zoom in with a powerful zoom camera. And they're literally just lights in water. So we could recreate stars that look like this when you put a light in water. And that's what it looks like. So the Bible talks about the waters above from the waters below. I'm not biblical myself, but it would say this shows that the stars are kind of twinkling in water, some kind of liquid, because they do twinkle, and you could see them flickering when you're watching video of this. Because you could watch video of the stars, and they twinkle every star in the rainbow, and yeah, they're just right there. They're really close, and that's another reason why we're able to bring them into focus. So this is what the planets look like. So the planets are just wandering stars. So this is what they actually look like, but this is a cartoon they show us. This is NASA, and this is what NASA shows us. What Jupiter looks like, but this is what it actually looks like. It's just the light in the sky. All the planets, they're just stars. Nobody knows what they actually are, other than they reset in the sky like a clock or like a calendar every year.
So Elon Musk wants to get off this
Elon Musk is a fraud.
He wants to get off this planet. Where is he going to go to?
He just wants more money in his pockets. So they're taking all this tax money from us. They take over 60 million a day. All these space agencies, like NASA specific, this is tax scam. Again, a tax scam, and to basically disprove a God. Because if you believe in outer space, then you believe in the Big Bang. You believe in all these theories about evolution, you know, and it's all just to discredit that this place was created. Because if outer space, you know, was what it is, which is nobody knows what it actually is, and you know, everybody knew the surface of the Earth was level, and there was some kind of container above, that would prove that there is some kind of creation, you know, here. We're experiencing a creation. This didn't happen by accident, basically. And this is one of the main proofs that the Earth is not a ball in outer space. Because the story that they give us is that everything came from nothing, from a Big Bang explosion.
Right.
And then we evolved through millions and millions of years. The fact is, nobody knows how this space came to be, but it was created somehow. You know, science proves that, you know, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. You know, it can only transform from one form to another. That's science proofs that this place was created, you know, but that's why they lied to us about this whole existence, about the whole thing, so that they could disconnect us from like a true creator, whatever that is. You know, I don't know what that is. A lot of people would say it's Jesus. Some people would say it's Muhammad. Some people would say it's Buddha. Some people would say it's Shiva. You know, there's a lot of gods out there. Take your pick. I don't pick any. I just know there is a God. I acknowledge that this place was created, but that's as far as my intellect takes me, if I'm being honest, you know. I don't know what gave rise to this place, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hold on, we're going to take a picture.
Sure, take a picture.
Because I believe the same thing. I believe there is a God.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I do believe in demons. Something sat on me and choked me.
I mean, yeah, that can't be denied. I can't deny your experience.
Because you ever look at that paranoia stuff?
Yeah, I've seen
And
paranoia.
you see blankets moving and...
The funny thing is that I've been getting into videos like that right now. Paranormal activity videos people post. You know, but yeah, it's a little interesting to me.
Because the other thing I look at is people that believe in all that Harry Potter spells and all that other
Right.
stuff. Witches and stuff like that. And down in Louisiana and overseas, they do a lot of black magic. A lot of. They're like, can I borrow one of your hairs? and then your family
Yeah.
is jacked up for the rest of your life.
So the way I see black magic is through sophistry. So you know what
It's
sophistry? You know what sophistry is?
No.
It's kind of like um, purposely misleading,
Okay.
like just purposely lying, like strategically lying, like a professional liar. For
Okay.
example, I would say casting a spell on someone is to make them believe something is not true. I would say that's casting a spell on someone. So, for example, the government, in my opinion, have a spell on everyone that we live on a ball earth.
Right.
You know, I would say that's black magic, using the ability to lie strategically, or through subliminally as well.
Right.
So I would say that you're playing on with black magic at that point. So to me, it's very practical. So black magic is something practical that human beings do. Everybody does it, believe it or not. Even you don't have to believe in it. It's your intent to deceive and again others, and to basically gain something from it or whatever. I would say that's black magic. You know. So I would say, yeah, especially the university students, they're being told a bunch of lies, a bunch of theories about their existence and what they should be doing. I would say, you know, that's black magic. Or you could say it's, you know, it's a form of black magic. You know what I'm saying?
So what are they telling these people? Airheads. A lot of them are airheads. They're so clueless.
Right.
But I think it's because this is my first time. I live probably about 30 minutes away.
Okay.
So I walked over here,
Yeah.
and I've been here for a while, and I really see all the black people kind of look fat and sloppy.
Okay.
You got the Asians that look sexy and cute with their long dresses. You got the white girls that's really blonde hair, blue eyes, and skinny. Or you got a couple that's droopy.
Right.
And then the Indians, the Hispanics, and the Muslims are just
Random.
they don't have what I call a profile.
Right.
So if I'm going to scare you on image,
Right.
yeah, this is a good place. This is a good place. And all
Right.
the white girls I saw, I'm like, ooh, they kind of look cute out here. They kind of look sexy. they look, yeah, but that's deception. That's the biggest deception. Don't go by looks.
Oh yeah, that's obvious. Yeah.
Don't go by looks. So on your phone, I'm gonna give you these
Sure.
websites then.
Sure.
And then I want you to take down my number because something is coming to America.
Sure. What are the
So
websites?
the notes all of them are YouTube.
Okay.
One is Shaking My Head Production.
Shaking My Head Productions. Okay.
Second one is Lion of Judah.
Lying to Judah?
The Lion, Lion of Judah.
Oh, Lion of Judah.
Yeah, Lion, I gotta say Lion.
Like roar, right?
Okay, yes.
And which is the last one?
This one is gonna disturb you a little, but it'll send you to some other things. His name is Kevin.
That's the YouTube channel or the video?
Yeah,
Kevin?
He is a financial person. He's a prepper, but he tell you a lot of things going on behind the scenes.
Right.
Because they're messing with the water, they're messing with the food,
Right.
they're messing with the population.
Everything, yeah.
And then put my number, and I'll take your card.
Sure.
Because they will deactivate the phones.
Right.
So which conspiracy do I give? On YouTube, Disney 1960 Weather War.
Weather War?
Yeah. That's how we drowned out the Vietnam and the Viet Congs during
Weather
Vietnam,
War.
yeah.
All right.
We can control the weather.
Oh yeah. NASA has actually released some of their technology where they can make it rain. They create giant clouds, and they can literally make it rain. So, yeah, it's not too far fetched. That's for sure.
Eric Dubay.
Eric Dubay. Yeah, that's just the guy on YouTube. He has a website as well. He's actually one of the first guys I came across this subject of the flat Earth, right? Of the ball Earth lie. and I recommend his channel. You should check it out. He has a lot of short videos with like questions you may have about how things work on a level Earth. For example, how does the sun set, right? And you know, a lot of these questions, right?
But at the end of the day, most people say when the economy shuts down,
Right.
what does this have to do with putting food on the table?
Exactly. So, in my opinion, this is the first step in getting towards some self-sustainability, which is key to being independent. Obviously, growing your own food. If we're not growing our own food or providing for ourselves, then you're always going to be in a system of dependency. You're always going to be controlled. So my goal is to get people aware of the fact that we're being fucked by our governments, with the ball earth lie, the flat earth lie being the biggest lie. And then after people realize and not trust the governments, then maybe we can move forward towards independence, which means everybody has to, depend on themselves and what they can provide for themselves, and
Well, you know what?
so yeah, that is the goal at the end of the day.
What's your number?
I'll take your number. I don't like giving my number out. Sorry about that.
I'm the one that's homeless and lost everything.
No, so
Okay.
yeah.
Don't do it. I'm the one that lost everything.
All right, I
And
could
you're
give you on there because I usually don't give my personal information because that's my number for work as well. Yeah, I don't have a So my email's not on the card, but if you go to my channel, it's the first one. My email, you'll see it on. This is my channel, the first one, Level-Headed William and Natalie. So if you go to that YouTube channel, in the description, my email's on there. I haven't put them on these cards because I recently made it not too long ago. That email, because a lot of people do want to like you. They want to reach out to me. They want to ask me a question, or they want to share some information. So again, you could do it through the email on the card.
So is Levelhead William and Natalie?
Yeah, that's me. No, it's just the YouTube name. If you go on YouTube and then you go to the search bar in YouTube on the website, that's just the channel name. That's the name of the channel.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, if you just type that in the search bar in YouTube, when you go to youtube.com, and you go to the search bar, and then the channel will come up, and that's me right there.
Well, I'm telling you, you better wake up things fast.
Yeah.
Because it's coming.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
No, it's already here. They closed up all the Walmarts in Oregon.
Yeah.
I study about 16 YouTube channels a day.
Okay, I see.
And it's prophecy.
Right.
And there's 46 categories. So you got to look at food, water, air, transportation,
Right.
finance. But at the end, May 23rd, a false king is going to be crowned.
Right.
And then they're going to come to try to shut truthers down.
No, yeah. I mean, it's already been happening, like people have been getting silent, especially whistleblowers. A lot of real whistleblowers, you barely hear about them because, again, you'll have these fake whistleblowers like from NASA that, oh, aliens do exist. And they come on, they show them in the news. These are fake whistleblowers that supposedly say aliens exist. The real whistleblowers that say it's all a scam, you'll never hear. Those are the ones that they really take out.
Yeah. And we have...
I think I'm gonna start wrapping it up.
Back that way, right?
The what?
Vermont.
Vermont, I believe so. I'm not too familiar, but yeah, I think so. Hoover, Vermont, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Or did I cross the street?
All right then.
Okay, yeah, I could.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to me, man.
So,
Yeah.
if some monsters come to Earth and you run into them, and they're 9 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet, 19 feet,
Yeah.
you might pray to something.
We'll see. We'll see. Right. All right. Have a good one. All right. You too. Yeah, it's gonna have to be it. It kind of took up most of the time right there, but that's fine. At least I got some conversations before, so it should be good. All right. So I'll probably start wrapping it up. I'll start putting this camera away first. Oh my God. All right, that's gonna be it. Thanks to everybody that showed up. Let me see if there's any relevant questions before I go. All right. All right, well, thanks to all the new people that showed up late, like Jose, Chilster, Ricardo, Flat Earth Banner, Martin, Mr. Jones, Spidey, Ricardo, Setmig, BG, G Monk, JT the Game. All right, thanks again. See you guys on the next one. All right.